Hello everyone and welcome to this special weekend broadcast of SouL versus EF. I was planning on doing it on Friday and I was absolutely exhausted after the first two series, and so was Rapid, so we decided to leave it there, and I thought the best time to do it would be before BSL was on, because hopefully if the games go on long enough, what we can do is we can host up Zero stream afterwards and keep the party going. So hopefully you're all having a wonderful weekend. The side panels? Side panels? Wait, what? Side panels? Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about in terms of side panels, but we'll figure it out as we get into the games, obviously. I'm just actually quickly writing down a tweet while I'm doing this at the same time, because I am very organized, as I usually have all this done beforehand, but of course, because I was casting on a weekend, I've completely forgotten to do everything. And I was also messing around with something that I've not done yet as such. It's gonna be, I'll probably show it off in the cast tomorrow, but I'll have to see if it works properly. So it's not a massive thing. I've got a green screen now. It doesn't work perfectly, but it works for what I need it for. So hopefully I'll have that all set up again tomorrow and we'll go from there. But just trying to think, we're going into SouL versus EF today. Let's actually have a look at some of the screens because we can, and then that way I can sort the stuff while we're going through it. Player wrong button. This is what happens when the thing goes wrong. Player rankings is what I want. But yeah, top 10, fairly stable at that top 10. A few of the players today, 3 of them in fact, are going to be playing, which will give them a chance to move themselves up the table. There's still a lot to play for. Oh yeah, the side panels of the intro. I'm surprised you've not seen the intro yet. I guess it's because it's not been around for a while, so... yeah, but the top 10, obviously, not really changed from before, but there's a good mix of foreigners and Koreans there. There's actually, hold on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, there's 4 Koreans and 6 non-Koreans in the top 10, which is kind of cool. Tai2 obviously repping SouL now. He was actually at the LA LAN yesterday, wearing his SouL shirt as well. I can't believe Fuji's given everyone a SouL shirt but me, and he's like, oh, it's because you went, or you've dodged me at BlizzCon, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. But yeah, it's kind of cool. SouL have got their own shirts and everything, which is amazing, so hopefully I can get my hands on one of those. Oh, you've not been following it so far. Damn. I'm disappointed, Lucky Noob, but I'm glad you're here now. You've not missed much. We're only in week 2. Now to actually have a look at the matchups here. Oh, this is the wrong button to press that first. You can see what goes wrong with the overlay system when I don't do it right. But yeah, it's going to be SouL versus Eternal Friends. For some reason, Eternal Friends logo is not loading properly again. Now, I don't know why, because it was working before. So this is one of those interesting problems that comes up. Scan belongs to Team SouL as well, so we're going to see him today, and that should be pretty cool. But yeah, SouL Gaming were the ultimate winners of Season 1. So obviously they are a very strong team. They beat White Clan even very decisively, if I remember correctly. Or did it go down to the final game? It may have been 4-3. But still, regardless, insane. The statistics down there are actually correct. There has been 28 Protoss wins for SouL and 3 losses. I did double check all of this and it actually works now. So, I mean, SouL's Protosses, they're on a tear, and you can tell because that's why Noob is #1, because he just keeps winning. Like, he just will not lose. So that's something to be said. I mean, it's kind of crazy that in terms of the Terrans, they've actually lost a lot of games. So in comparison to the other 2 races, of course. Sorry, I'm still just trying to type this. I'm sure you can hear this at the same time, but we'll get there, and then when we get in the game, everything will go a little bit more smoother. So let's actually introduce our players for today while we're here, and then that way we can get that going as well. We're going to start with a ZVZ between Spire and Matthias. So we're going to have one of our Koreans against, I believe Matthias is from... Yeah, Matthias is from Peru, so it's going to be Korea versus Peru in game number 1, where they're going to have Zealot versus Blaze. That's going to be a Korean versus a Korean. ZVT on White Out. Then we're going to have a PVT between Noob and Pinkbrush on Neo Arkanoid. That should be fun. I love watching Noob play, and I can't wait to see him play on Neo Arkanoid as well. And then we're going to have Scan versus Chaylin, a really popular female Zerg streamer, both on Twitch and Afrika on Carthage 3, so that should be kind of cool. So we don't have any Rapid today. Obviously, he was just at the Super Tournament, I believe, and he's come home. I think he's probably going to get some sleep and then cast BSL. So it's just going to be me solo casting. Hopefully that'll be fine for you, but just have a look at our next screen as well. We'll introduce our first couple of players here. Starting us off will be Spire for SouL. He's got 14 wins overall. In his last 10 games, he's only lost 1, and he lost against the best. So that's best from SK Telecom T1, current S-rank pro gamer. Spire is a Korean amateur, I believe, but he's had some really good... No Rapid walks out. Yeah, he's had some really good results in the STPL, and he's not unbeaten, but in ZVZ, he's 7-for-1. I believe the only person who beat him in ZVZ was actually True Touch. It was either True Touch or Eon Zerg or something, I can't remember, but it was a while ago, as you can see. But his opponent, gonna be for EF, it's Matthias. Now, Matthias has only played 1 game so far, which he did lose. He lost against Nice's Chef Kev. So, obviously not the most, or not the highest ranked player here for Eternal Friends. He actually subbed in for Ozner, one of their other players last weekend. So, it'll be cool to see how this is going. And then, if we have a look at the map stats, we're going to be heading into map number 1, which is going to be Multiverse. We've had 1 ZVZ here. No, we haven't actually had a ZVZ yet. I thought we did, but no ZVZ. But obviously, depending on... And it is real. Sorry, I missed out one of the games on Friday, so I need to get it casted. But ZVZ on Multiverse, probably one of the weirder maps to play ZVZ on, but it's not like it's Neo Arkanoid where you can't run through the middle of the map. Depending on the spawns, obviously muteless are going to be very, very powerful if it's close by air. Hopefully we'll see cross spawns so the game may go a little bit longer, but we'll have to see what happens. So let's get into game number 1. It's Spire versus Matthias. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the pink Zerg fighting for Eternal Friends. It's Matthias. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand position, we do have the black Zerg fighting for SouL. It's Spire. And IMSCRVN, just to let you know, the ELO system was designed by Radley. It's all done in SQL. Obviously, there is calculations that work it all out, but huge shout outs to Radley for getting it working. What color of Spire? It's a fair point. But yeah, the cool thing is we do have them on close by ground, so it's not cross positions, but at least it's not close by air. Now, Lings are going to be very powerful in these positions, and you can't actually block your opponent off using the middle of the map. Now, Spire is going to go for a 9 pull here. Or saying that, is that technically an overpull? I'm never too sure, but Overlord for Matthias. So Matthias is going to either go 12 pull here or for a 12 hatch. Now 12 hatch could be very risky, but it isn't an immediate build order loss to 9 pull speed, but obviously 9 pull speed will have... Oh, this is definitely black. Like, this is 100% black, unless, like, my thing is a bit weird. No, yeah, it's definitely black. It's not dark brown. I like pink Zerg. Magenta Zerg is better, though. Now, we do have a 12 hatch in the main from Matthias, so this is a little bit interesting. Don't often see this. One of the players that's used this a lot in the past is actually Tai2, and Tai2 has done historically quite well in ZVZ. We saw him play a couple of ZVZs yesterday against Jaeyoon in the LA LAN, the tournament hosted by Africa TV, and that was really sick, so... Okay, so pool is coming up with the extractor. Obviously, the pool is already done for Spire, but Spire is not going speed. He is going to be going for that lair. Now, one thing to note is Spire has not scouted where his opponent is. This is why he's not gone for Ling speed just yet, because if you go for Ling speed, all of a sudden things can go really weird. Now, if we look at Matthias's view, he will see some Lings have come out, but he'll see speed is not yet done. And that's going to give him a little bit more hope, as his Ling, or his pool is only just finished. His lair is obviously going to be a lot later, and so is his speed. And that was the outcome of going for this early hatch. Now let's see what Spire can do with these Lings. There's a good number of Lings on the map for Spire already. Matthias is of course up by 2 drones. He's going to find it a little bit easier to flood units just because he does have 2 hatcheries worth of production. But for now, Matthias is just going to have to try and hold on at his choke here, because as long as Spire can't break through and do damage, as long as he gets his Spire up quick enough, or maybe if he goes for Evo Chamber, we could actually see a bit of a longer game here, but we know for sure that Matthias is not going to be able to put any counter pressure on. But Spire coming into a concave here. Oh, nice pullback. Ling battles are always so tense, I can't really cast them properly because it's just them moving back and forth, and like every once in a while the Ling will die and it'll be like, whoa. But Matthias needs to make sure the Lings don't get the main. Oh my god, he lets him in. This is a massive problem. He didn't have all his Lings fighting, and suddenly Spire has 3 Lings in his main, and there are no units here. Okay, some Lings have just spawned. Nice drone drill. Gonna keep his drones alive at the very least. And he will play quite defensively. Now, you can already see Spire, who did just lose all of his Lings, is building a creep colony because he's worried that there could be a big Ling flood from Matthias, and there has been. But Matthias isn't actually doing anything with them. This is a little bit of a mistake because his Spire is a long way off done. And we already see the Mulisks on the way here for Spire, so he needs to make something happen with the Lings. Like, if he lets Mutalisk fly into his base uncontested, what is Matthias going to be able to do now? He is just continually macroing up a ton of Lings. He's still up by 3 drones, so I mean his economy is really good in, well, comparatively. But he's in a weird position. He needs to try and get in. If he can get in and kill the Spire, kill the Sunken, he can win this game. But he's going to have to delay these Mutas from getting to his base as long as humanly possible, as his Spire is still only about halfway done. He's going to lose an Overlord as well, possibly. But here we go. The Ling's coming in from a very strange angle. Wants to try and get on the drones. He's killed 2 of them already. Can he get another one? No, he can't. Spire with the amazing drone control. Let's actually look at the health. Oh man, Matthias had such a good position there, but unfortunately he tried to focus the drones rather than the Sunken, and he loses every single one of his Lings, but he is up 5 drones now, and Spire is not immediately going to attack. He's going to try and go for these Overlords. This is not going to supply block Matthias, so Matthias still in a relatively good position. He just needs to make sure he gets his own Mulisks out, and Spire's economy there was delayed for quite a while. He was moving his drones back and forth, so he can't actually afford any additional Mulisks, so Matthias is still in a great position. He's trying to get in and do some counterattacks for some Lings, but it's not working. But Matthias definitely just needs to focus on winning this air battle now. I think he paused. Obviously, we don't get to see the pause because we're in a replay, which is good. Damn it, Moobot. Funny story about Moobot. When I came back to stream STPL Season 2, I updated all the Nightbot commands for getting that swapped over. And someone was like, it's spamming the wrong Matrino link. And I'm like, it's not possible. Okay, Matthias loses another Overlord, so Spire is actually going to take the supply lead for now. Is there going to be any drones coming in? No, so just nothing but air units for Spire. Makes perfect sense. But let's see what the Scourge can actually do. Be like, oh! Wow, he does manage to get one Scourge to connect, but it is 6 Mulisks against 5 with some Scourge. He's going to try and get this Overlord. Could this be a mistake? The Scourge coming in just to kind of protect these mutas. Now, Spire is the one who finds himself supply blocked. But here we go. It looks like it is going to be more versus less for Spire, but Matthias is in a relic. Oh no, Matthias takes a ton of damage from Scourge. He's going to lose all his mutas. No! What a turnaround. Matthias had such a good position. And unfortunately, he just got out-microed there by Spire. Spire, it's kind of ironic because Spire used to be in Biclan as well. But, I mean, Spire, great muteless micro, and all of a sudden, Matthias, who's just built a ton of Lings, is not going to be able to do anything about the muteless. Why did he switch into Lings? He should have been building air units. He's just going to lose both his mutas. This is so unfortunate. He was in such a good position. Well, unfortunately, this game is done. GG. Matthias taps out and Spire takes game number 1. And he's also going to micro his mutas around. Let's just watch this for a sec. I mean, I guess this is a good way of testing how good your micro is, but... Okay, I mean, are you gonna stay in the game until everything's dead, Spire? Let's leave him to it. Let's go back here. I guess Spire has definitely won the game, so there's no need to carry on watching that. But Spire with great micro there. He actually doubled the APM of Matthias. He was at 433 APM against 210 or something, which is crazy. But I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We're going to be heading into game number 2 when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Okay guys, I am back here for another game in today's STPL. It's SouL versus EF, and we're going to be heading into game number 2. It's going to be Blaze versus Zealot. Now let's actually have a look at Zealot's stats. Should be really cool to see him here. Zealot hasn't played that many games for SouL, but the ones he's played have been really good. He's won 3... lost 1. Wow, he actually lost to a Rue. Didn't realize about that, but yeah, I mean, Zealot 75% win rate over 4 games. His YouTube link is certainly something as well. So if you do want to check out his YouTube, I'll leave this up on the screen for like 10 seconds so you can write it down. You maybe need a little bit longer. England does have a lot of rain. That's just the climate of England, but I like it. It's good. And his opponent going to be for EF. It's going to be Blaze. Now, Blaze also known as Jihu, has actually changed his name for the STPL. He's 1-1, lost 2, so only a 33% win rate, but his ELO is dead on the starting one, so there's something weird going on with his ELO calculations as well, because he went up to 20... Okay, well, we'll figure that out. I don't know what's going on there, but that's going to be a question from me to Radley, so that's all good. Hopefully it's just with him. Maybe it's because of the way we added 2 games in one day. Probably didn't... Yeah, if you think if you think England has rain, go to Wales. Wales has more rain than Scotland. Okay, and then having a look at the map, we're going to have a whiteout. Whiteout was from the 2019 Africa Star League Season 7, an amazing 3-player map, really cool map features with the sort of trees in the middle. I guess one thing I could do is bring up the whiteboard that I used to do, but I haven't done that in a while, so we won't bring that up today. Bonneth might play if we get to the ace match, so we'll have to see, but he's not in the initial 4 players. A little bit unfortunate. But Whiteout is an amazing 3-player map. Can't wait to get into this. It's going to be a TVZ between Blaze and Zealot, starting now. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom middle position, we do have the Red Terran fighting for Eternal Friends. It's Blaze. And his opponent spawning up here in the wonderful Magenta Zerg. It is Zealot fighting for SouL. I like magenta. Magenta is actually my favorite Zerg color. And hey Cadenti, good to see you here. I mean, this is the early stages of TVZ, of course, in Blaze's TVZs. I'm just trying to remember if we've actually seen him in a TVZ yet. I think he played against Essen. Let me double check. Yeah, so he played against Essen. The game was quite short, if I remember correctly. Essen won really early on with Lings, so not really too much to go off of this, but Zealot, I mean, Zealot was known for a long time, especially in Korea, at least as far as I'm aware, as being quite aggressive, quite cheesy as well in some cases. I know Cadenti wasn't Zealot the person who was teaching you the 973 build a while back. And obviously from Zealot's ASL games as well, he did play very aggressive in those, so we might see another quick game here. Depends exactly on what Blaze is planning to do. We're going to have a 12 hatch, no, sorry, that was a 9 hatch. Yeah, 9 hatch, 9 pool, 9 gas. So this is, if I remember correctly, a relatively aggressive build here from Zealot as expected. This does allow you to get, if I remember correctly, the layer up a lot quicker, although I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, and Zealot is a maths teacher, so maybe that's how he gets away with being so aggressive. He does all the calculations in his head, and that's how he knows exactly how much damage he needs from exactly how many units, and how quick he needs to do the damage before all his units die. He's like, you know the meme with like the person standing there and all the equations are like flying around their head? That's Zealot, pretty much. Okay, so the spawning pool's about to finish. Zealot just getting enough layer or gas for his layer, so it is going to be 2 hatch layer here. Second hatchery finishing on up. This can be a little bit confusing to see if you're not sure what you're looking at as a Terran player scouting, but Blaze should be good enough to know exactly what's going on. Blaze, one of the players from Clan Waco that's joined into Valhalla team for Season 2. it's going to be 2 racks here, so we're going to see 2 racks Academy from him. We're going to have the gas coming up now, and around 26 supply, if I remember correctly, it'll be the Academy. That gets you stim and range up super quickly, and if anything, this is probably the best bio opening you can do against 2 hatch, because when you go for +1 5 racks, your upgrades are actually a little bit later, so... Oh wow, Zealot got knocked out of G's Weekly this week. That's cool. You almost forgot to change colors. Yeah, lucky noob, you were red before, you were repping the Terran player. Oh man, you gotta feel bad about that, but Blaze's expansion is gonna be coming up now. Obviously, not too much to worry about just yet. His SCV is still alive in the main. We'll see, in fact, that there is a Spire coming up. Very important to scout this. And I would say normally, like, once you've seen what tech it's going to be, you can probably let your SCV die, but you'd rather not to. And with Zealot, you can never be sure if he's going to be hiding a Hydralisk Den somewhere. So he is going to keep his SCV alive as long as he humanly possibly can. Super important to do this. Interestingly, he's not going to check the natural, I think. Well, I guess he'd die to the sunken, so he can't really check it. He's just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. Okay, we've got scanners coming up here for Blaze. I think the scans are actually a little bit earlier than he probably needs them, just because he has still got his SCV alive, but it's always better to get scans too early than forget to build them or not have them at all. Because say for example there is a Hydralisk Den up here that he can't see, then that could be very problematic. Now, Blaze is actually going to pop out. He's actually not going to wait for 5 minutes 30, which is the kind of common timing here. That's usually around about when stim finishes and you start range. He's going to push out a little bit earlier. He knows there's not too many lings up here, so is he going to be able to bust down this first sunken? Obviously you need at least 1 medic per sunken, if I remember correctly. Usually you want a little bit more just to make sure. But the first scan does go in, sees the 2 sunken colonies, and he's going to pull back. Obviously, leaving his medic marine here is going to be good just to keep them kind of busy. Okay, you need to see an infested CC. Oh, Zealot's actually hiding a base down here in the bottom left. That's really awkward to see, because you don't expect a Zerg to ever do that, but if there's a Zerg that will, it's Zealot. That's likely going to be one of the last places on the map that Blaze will look for an expansion. Now, the Mutalisks are already out. It was 2 hatch. They came out around 5 minutes 30 as well. No range is done yet, so this micro from Blaze is going to be a little bit more difficult. Does obviously cause some problems. And the other issue you've got is you have a lot of medic marine at the front, and you've got some in your main as well, but it's trying to meet them up without losing everything. Now, looks like he's doing a relatively good job just keeping his medic marine in a ball, just making it really difficult for Zealot to be able to really pick anything off. But and look, he's got all of this medic marine back here that he can't meet up. And this means that these Mutalisks are going to go uncontested. I mean, Zealot doing a really good job microing this stuff down. Hasn't lost a single muta just yet, but the damaged one is near the top, so maybe if he clicks correctly, he'll be able to do it. Nope, not going to be able to do it. So all this medic marine at the front is going to die. A little bit unfortunate, but obviously that was just round 1. Round 2 is now on the way. Now the third base is up and running for Zealot. Let's see if there's going to be a hive on the way. Yes, there is. It's going to be a quick hive behind this. Now, the Mutalisks are all still alive still, so really, really well done by Zealot. A 10th mute. Oh, he lost one there. But there's going to be another one joining. Oh, he's actually got more than one control. Oh, he's got a full control group of Muta. So it's going to be 11 and 1 off on the side. Oh, nice pick off on that Mutalisk there. But Blaze has lost one of his medics, so these Marines are incredibly weak. Makes it so much harder to micro this. There's a second medic coming up, but that's not in the best position. Now it is. So I mean, the issue is Blaze is using so much APM just to try and micro down some of these Mutalisks, and Zealot is just so good at controlling them. It makes it very, very difficult. But the good thing is, Blaze isn't taking any damage back at home, so he is building up his barracks count. I can see that in the minimap. And I think he's got his starports on the way as well, so always going to be good. Another Mutalisk is picked off. Medic's still alive. There's going to be no more reinforcements to this army, though. Oh, gets another Mulus with his final 3 Marines there. That's going to be good. But is there enough back here? No, so there's actually no starports on the way just yet. That's a little bit unfortunate. No tech, but a ton of Medic Marine is going to be coming out here soon. But you do really start to need Irradiate, especially with Hive done. There's going to be a Defiler Mound coming in at some point. There's going to be a Hydra Den over here in the bottom left, so that's not going to go scouted. I mean, this is a ton of Medic Marine. It does have +1 attack, so this makes it a little bit harder for the Mulus to deal with. But look how well he's trading. He is killing so many Marines every time he flies in. And Blaze is unable to get out on the map, which is where he really needs to be. Because look, he's not scouted the 3rd base yet. He has no idea that Zealot is on 3 gas. And this is why he's playing so defensively. He thinks he's being mute rule-inned. But little does he know, Zealot's economy is fine. Like, he's not in any trouble. A Great Aspire coming on the way as well. I kind of didn't expect to see that. But I guess if you've got +1 carapace already, you may as well go for Guardians, especially when you can morph them back here as well. It makes it so hard for the Terran to deal with. Now, Blaze finally able to get out a little bit on the map. Oh, he's going to be able to pick this Muta off. Nice snapping on that Muta there. Oh my god, 3 Overlords are going to go down. That's not something Zealot wants to be losing. Oh wow, Zealot actually dropped the ball a little bit there, but Blaze, his medics are out of position. His Marines are not in the right place. But the Mulus count has been decimated. This Great Aspire is not going to be doing anything. There's no more Mulisks. I think there's... Hold on, there's one... Okay, wow, there's actually more Mulists there than I thought. But he lost a ton of them. 2 are actually morphing into Guardians. That'll get them back to full health when they finish. But Guardians in the middle of the map, in the complete open, like, you don't want to do that. Now, oh, Zealot is in a really good position here with those Guardians. Blaze cannot see it, and obviously ground... Oh, damn, he's so close to be able to see that Cocoon. Okay, Blaze has seen it now. He knows there's Guardians. Let's see what he can do about them. The first one getting targeted down. They fall back, but is it going to be enough here from Blaze to actually just push through? Guardians do a ton of damage to that bio. The Mulus is going to do a lot as well. And there's a load of Guardians here. But oh man, he's breaking through everything. Blaze is doing what he can with his Medic Marine. But look at this, the Marines are dying so quickly to these 1 armor Guardians. And now there's 4 medics. They're all going to go down. The Mulus have chased the Marines back. And Blaze, I mean, the only thing he has going for him is the fact he's semi-all in with these 7 racks on 2 base. +2 or +1 armor is nearly done. There's no +2 attack, of course, because there's no engineering, or there's no science facility. There's no factory on the map either. So Blaze is still all in. He has to make something happen with this army. Now, Blaze is actually scanned. He's still not scanned the 3rd base. He has no idea that's down there. And look at this. There's no medics with the army. This is exactly what Zealot wants. Look how quickly these Marines are going to die. Now, there's some Hydralisks here as well. And Hydralisks going into lurkers in these trees are going to be very difficult to deal with. Now, Blaze scanning. He's looking for the 3rd base. He's like, where is your base? You have to have a 3rd base by this point. And he can't find it. Because Zealot's hidden it so well. And look at this. I think this could be the nail in the coffin. Blaze is losing all of his units here. Every single Marine is going to go down for the 4th time. And the Guardians stand strong. There's no Wraiths. There's no vessels. Wait, the Marines are actually breaking through. Oh my goodness, he's actually finally got enough medics, but the medic's out of position. Can he get the final Guardians? No, he can't. 1 survives with a little health, another 1 at the back as well, but more bio coming in. This is the benefit of having 7 racks. You have a constant stream of production. But look at this, the Hydras are starting to overwhelm here as well. 3 Guardians now. They do 20 damage a shot, which is enough to 2-shot a Marine. And it's just... Oh, actually, I think he should take 3 shots now, if I remember correctly, the way armor works. But, yeah, look at this. The Guardians are going to take down these turrets. There's no medics again with this. So yeah, it does take 3 hits now. So that armor actually coming in a lot of very handy here. Trouble is, you cannot build medics and marines at the same time, and there's more and more hydralisks coming in, more and more guardians as well. And Zealot is taking a 4th base. Blaze has still not scouted where that 3rd base was. He actually has full scans, but he's there's no point scouting for it anymore. GG, Blaze taps out, and Zealot takes game number 2. Yeah, so that definitely comes down to the fact there was no tech whatsoever from Blaze. He thought he could win the game with Mass Medic, Mass Marine, but there's a point in the game where Medic Marine alone is not enough to win you the game. Imagine if he had dropships, he could have dropped the main, there would have been nothing back at home to defend, and he could have done a ton of damage. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen, and that's going to take us to game number 3, which is going to be a PvT between Noob and Pinkbrush. After this brand new break, see you guys very soon.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Been detected. Where has he put the nuke though? Oh man, I know it's somewhere in this location, but where? Where is the nuke? It's definitely, there we go, it's on top of the Sunkenham. Boom! The nuke goes down, and so does all the drones. What a nuke right there. Oh, here we go.
Nuclear launch detected.
Oh boy. The nuke on the position again. It's on this base, this poor base. I can't see the red dot though. Where on earth is the red dot? Maybe he's put it on like the blood or something. There we go. Directly on the hatcher, on the lair. Absolutely abolished one. Annihilated the base. Man. Oh man. There we go. The nuke is going to go down. Can it get the hatchery? Yes it can. 300 minerals in the drink. We see more and more ultra stream. Remaining signs. Nuclear launch detected. The red dot on the hatchery. Has Cold realized? I don't think he has. He's not pulling away. He's going for an all-in attack. But I want to watch the nuke. It's going to be so huge. Oh man, all of the remaining drones are going to go down. There we go. Boom, once again. And GG. Radley cleans up the final drones. And the game ends with Net Wars up 2-0.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay, now starting in the top right hand position, we do have fighting for Ash in the blue. It's Radley. Radley is lifted as his science facility, and you know what that usually means? Covert ops, please?
That's right, you're right. Nuke silo on the way. Where is it? Natural? Yeah, it's at the natural. I actually would have built that back in the main, but obviously he had the scanner up there, so. Oh my gosh, oh my god, 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 oh my god.
This is
Okay,
the sickest.
he's gonna drop in the pizza wedge. Where's the optical flare? Optical flare right now, oh my god! It's fucking blind!
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And look at this.
Unbelievable.
Look at his vision. He can't see.
He can't do anything! Oh, he's got a second observer. Where's the second optical flare? Oh no, that's the same. Oh my god. How good is optical flare?
There we go. Nuke's coming in. It lands.
And boom
Kaboom!
goes the dynamite. Hell yeah.
There's so many units here to defend this time, but wait.
Oh, feedback, feedback. Where is it? Oh, he fed back the
Wait,
science vessel.
there's a
So it's
ghost on
not-
the army. There's a nuke on the army somewhere. The units
Oh my
are all
God, no.
stuck.
There's no way.
Yeah,
No way
there
he
is.
needs this army. No way.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? What? What?
And oh,
Bradley
EMP
is
though.
actually- he needs a scan.
Lockdown. Lockdowning
he
the
locked out
observer
the observer.
and the shuttle. There's 2 High Templar in the shuttle that can't do anything.
Oh, he's gonna cloak and kill the
Army. But there we go. Nuke dropping down on those cannons. On one.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, there's the nuke.
Oh, it's a mined out base, but I
Yeah,
don't care.
Yeah, and boom goes the dynamite. Hell, it's 6 or
12.
12. Yeah, just in time.
But this, oh my god, the ghost is gonna run out of energy.
Is he? The nuke's gonna go off though, right?
Yeah. Oh, and he still loses most of the probes. Blind,
yeah.
blind nuke. Yeah, he's just gonna nuke. He's like, screw it. All of oh no, two dragoons. GG.
Damn. Ah, disgusting. What?
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Whoops, thank you for pointing that out. There we go. Okay, let's go back. So, as I was just saying, we are going to be heading into game number 3. It's going to be Noob versus Pinkbrush, and it should be awesome. So let's have a look at why Noob is number 1, is what I meant to say. Okay, so Noob has 23 wins overall in the STPL. His last 10 games, he's only had 1 loss, and I believe that was actually a walkover to Tempest. I don't think Tempest beat him on Neo Medusa, but just overall, Noob is an incredible player. He's won so many games. He actually won the ace match between SouL and White in the grand final of Season 1 against Best in a PvP. And he also won in the same game as well against Gecko, who was a Terran. He's 9 for 2 against Terran right now. So this is going to be a very difficult matchup for our Terran player Pinkbrush here, who is 1 for 1. They did win their only TVP, so that's obviously a bonus, but lost their TVT against Bai on Carthage 3. So we'll have to see how this is going to go as we get into map number 3. You may have seen it just now in that nuke break. We did have Neo Arkanoid. Neo Arkanoid has led to some incredibly good TVP games. We're actually tied up 3 for 3 in PvP, in PvT even, on Neo Arkanoid, so I'm looking forward to being able to jump straight into this. Now, the defining map feature of Neo Arkanoid, of course, is going to be the neutral buildings that litter the map absolutely everywhere, and it makes it very difficult to go through the middle, but once that middle is broken up, or opened up even, it can be quite difficult to actually stop your opponent from breaking through, or from just killing you. So you do need to be a little bit careful about when you open up the map and where you open up the map as well, as you're eventually going to want to take another base. So let's head into game number 3. It's Noob versus Pinkbrush. And this is the wrong button. Here we go. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand position, we have the Peach Terran fighting for eternal friends. It's Pinkbrush. And spawning down here in the bottom right hand position, we do have the yellow Protoss fighting for SouL. It's Noob. Now, one thing I do want to say, just to make a correction to something I said earlier, I did say that Jihu was from Clan Wiko, but that was Valhalla team, not Eternal Friends, so it's not that guy. But we've got temples here. We have a lot of power generators here as well. And just to zoom out, you'll see exactly how the corners of the map look. You've got these 5,000 health temples and a lot of power generators blocking through. That makes it a little bit more difficult to break through the middle of the map, of course. And the other thing as well, just over here, you actually have some mature Chrysalis. They don't have that much health and they are pretty easy to kill, but it does allow them to do that. Now interestingly, they're both from Korea, but neither of them are typing Korean to each other, which is kind of strange, but Noob's English apparently isn't too bad, so... Oh, thank you, Manaworld, for the 70
GLHFGG carrot.
I also love how they call that a carrot. That makes me laugh a lot. Now, you'll see that Pinkbrush is going to play quite greedy, going for a 14cc, but with all the buildings in the middle of the map, it can be quite difficult to break through the middle. Now, it's not super hard. We saw a ZVZ on this map where essentially... I think it was Essen against his opponent just went Lings and broke through the middle and won the game. So... aggression on this map may look impossible, but I can tell you with verifiable evidence that it's not. You also had a PvP back in the day between Jangbi and Anytime went 2-gate and killed Jangbi from his own main. So, like, he obviously built the gates in his own main, but then went from there. But you can already see Noob went for a gate and is going to clean up these Crystali and look to expand himself. Obviously, for Protoss, you don't really want to be expanding off-center because you don't want to build a Nexus next to it. Oh, Pinkbrush is from China. Okay, I'll have to update his flag then. Weird how he's still typing though. I guess he's one of those really talkative players. Okay, so Noob is going to be able to expand behind this. If we have a game that's going to go a little bit longer, I think it's probably going to be this one. Just because TVP on this map can be quite... It's not one-sided in any way, shape or form, but carriers are very good on this map. Reaver Shuttle's very good on this map. Robo is already on the way, and Terran drops are incredibly powerful on this map as well. Now, you can already see that Pinkbrush is only just now at 20 supply, getting his first factory. This is incredibly late, but obviously delaying the gas did mean he can get more SCVs out a little bit quicker. And Noob is likely going to go for a double expand behind this. Yeah, it's Neo Arkanoid. A-R-K-A-N-O-I-D. It's down there in the bottom pointing, but it's just above the clock. So Noob has gone... Well, okay, the support bay must build very, very quickly, but it is going to be Reavers. Oh, it's okay, man. We have Pylon up here as well. Nexus almost about to finish, so we are going to have both of them expanding. Now, this is what Terran can do, which the other races cannot, which is clearly broken, apparently, but he is going to land his CC, going to get his SCVs mining a little bit more effectively, but losing a little bit of mining time on that gas. 2 factories done. Starport is on the way. This is very indicative of the kind of style we'll see from Pinkbrush here on this map. Now, I say that because one of the major styles that you can play on this map is drops. So one thing to note, we saw this in the nuke video a little bit before, there's these pizza wedges. This map is sponsored by Pizza Hut, essentially, where you can drop Terran tanks in. Tanks here can siege down the Nexus. Ghosts here can nuke the Nexus. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we'll see Pinkbrush go for what the Ghost King did on this map and go mass nukes. He's probably going to play a little bit more conventional, but does need to be careful because this first Reaver is now out. Reaver shuttle speed, sorry, is coming up as well. Can you imagine if there was a Reaver speed upgrade and they just like, rather than really slowly waddling around the map, Reavers like got the speed of vultures? Someone needs to make a mod with that, like Reavers with vulture speed. Just imagine how insane that would be. Oh my god. But we do have a Wraith on the way. This is going to help against this. Now, I did say to people, please do not pick colors that look like each other. And peach and white, or peach and yellow definitely do. So we're in a bit of trouble here, but Oh, Pinkbrush are going to fly past the shuttle here. Reaver's going to drop down, kill the 3 Marines. The tank is over here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to push in, but obviously as soon as this turret goes down, which it will do, the shuttle is going to have free reign. But where is the Wraith? The Wraith is all the way back here for some reason. Oh no, the Reaver's going to get 3 of these. Oh, I hate when this happens. He's going to get the Academy as well. Oh, it's so frustrating when this happens to you. I hate it so much. Look at this. The buildings go down. He's going to get another building. Now, the shuttle does go down, so this Reaver is dead. And he only lost a single... I think he lost maybe 2 SCVs to that. But losing 300 minerals worth of supply depots is a massive problem. And you can lose 400 in one go, and it's not fun. But Noob is looking to expand down here into the bottom left location. Pinkbrush, luckily enough, is scouting around with his barracks, so he will see this coming up. Don't put them together. I wish it was that easy, man. As Artosis once said, oh, it's going to be double shuttle production. That's really, really cool, actually. It's not often you'll see this style from Protoss, but on this map it makes perfect sense. You want to be ahead in drop shuttles compared to dropships, because dropships carry more stuff than shuttles do, so... Oh, Y2 kid. Oh man. I guess you don't like mines. Thing is, mines have the potential to do a lot of damage, but the thing, like the other point is, like, you can kill them very easily as long as you just have detection. Like, usually the big mines that you see are from the other player playing really carelessly. Like, against Terran, you know there's going to be mines everywhere if they're going vultures, so you've got no excuse to just randomly move around the map. I mean, the thing is, mines screw over Terran as well in TVT, so that's the fun part. But we've got 2 shuttles heading out. One is going to be ferrying probes over into the bottom left. No, it's not. He's actually going to... Oh, Pinkbrush! Look at this. Land in the barracks, and obviously the shuttle is going to be forced to send over the Dragoon to try and deal with this. Did the probe die? Yeah, oh my god, the probe died to a Marine. I didn't see that. That's really, really cool. So Noob now on 3 bases. Pinkbrush now getting his 3rd base as well. And we're still in a relatively good spot. Now we do have the upgrades coming in for Pinkbrush, so we're not going to see the mistake that that Blaze made last game. But this is going to delay that 3rd base, and that's incredibly annoying for Noob, because Noob wants that gas, or 4th base even. Noob wants to be a base ahead over his Protoss or his Terran opponent, because if you're not, that's when things get a little bit hairy. But we've got dropships coming up for Pinkbrush. He is going to look to expand over to the top left position. So we're actually, or maybe not, we're going to have very, very greedy play from both of our players here, as they both continue to just try and build up. Now we do have triple Stargate carrier on the way, and obviously when you see this with double shuttles as well, that's when Terran need to worry. Now Pinkbrush has scanned, but not scanned the main, so does not yet know about the carriers, I don't believe. And this is a very good map for carriers, so let's see how the dropping is going to be from Pinkbrush. Pinkbrush's dropship production was actually quite delayed, so we've not got the biggest drop just yet. While bringing an SCV with this, I kind of feel like this is a mistake. You need as many units with this drop as possible. Maybe he's going to go and take the bottom left. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. The SCV is going to block another... Oh, there we go. I think he was planning to expand with it, but didn't. But we got triple dropship now, flying on out. Gonna see how much damage he can do. Obviously scanning that 3rd base as well. Does not yet know about the mass shuttles, I don't believe, from... Oh, yes, he does. Sorry, they're in... Okay. It's so hard to see these 2 colors on the minimap. Big drop going down in the 3rd base. All of the units have actually been ferried over. You can see the dropships dropping them down in this pizza wedge. Let's see how much damage you can do. This is where I wish I could have like picture-in-picture, but unfortunately that is not technology I have the ability to use. So this base is going to go down. That's very, very unfortunate, but the unit should be able to survive. Now the gas is going to get siege down, but he's not in position to be able to hit the hit the units. Now, did he save his Reavers? Yeah, so his 3 Reavers are alive. You can already see the dropships flying on home. Gonna take 2 of the tanks didn't actually drop out. That's very, very unfortunate. But the units up here have been dealt with. The command center is actually burning down. And these tanks, I mean, this is the problem with this pizza wedge. You can't actually see anything. So, and Noob has perfect vision over this as well. Now, Noob is going to go back in with another set of drops. Okay, peach versus yellow is so difficult to see on the minimap, but we'll have to deal with it. Let's keep an eye on these shuttles. The dropships coming back in as well. In fact, here are the drops. There's actually a lot of anti-air here now, though, for Pinkbrush. So Pinkbrush in a decent position. Can he get one of the shuttles? No, he can't. The Goliaths are going to go down. This natural is pretty well defended with these 2 tanks, but this is 3 Reavers. 3 Reavers are going to do so much damage. And if the this Wraith is going to help out as well, but the tank's in a good position. Going to force this back for now. A single Goliath going to come out here in a dropship. Oh wow, there's 4 Goliaths in here. He needs to be a little bit better with his dropship micro. But look at this, the Nexus is going to go down. This is a massive, massive problem for Noob. He's not using his shuttles for defense. I think he's just waiting for his carriers. Now carriers are finally here. +1 attack is not yet on the way, unless there's already one here. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay. Yeah, he's got +1 attack already, so it's just no +2 attack just yet. But with this base going down, these units are kind of marooned for at least the time being. The base down here in the bottom left is up. We can see Pinkbrush is scanning. He does get a good scan, gets a couple of these Dragoons over here. But the units in the middle here, as I said, they're marooned. They can't get away, and they are 100% dead. We've got no ground upgrades, so for our Protoss player, we do have +1 attack here, but we're going to need more. Is there no science facility again? Yeah, I think Pinkbrush is making the same mistake that Blaze did. He's just not getting his upgrades. We've got +1 armor coming in. But against carriers are going to have +3 attack soon. Well, okay, they're not going to have +3 attack soon, but they've got +1 attack already. And you really do need 3/3 upgrades against carriers. And this command center is still going to burn. Oh my god, please tell me he's not going to lose this command center if you're burning down. It's so easy to let this happen. I'm going to keep an eye on it to make sure, but this could be a massive, massive mistake. Now, we do have the dropships going down into the bottom left, and the shuttles going to the bottom left as well, so we're going to have drop-on-drop action as he tries to take down this base. Now, the carriers finally up to 6, going to push forward, do a lot of damage to this base. There is a lot of Goliaths coming in. Now, looks like he's actually juked away from the shuttles. He's going to go into this other base, and this is completely undefended. This is going to be a lot of damage. Noob is only technically on 3 bases, and there's a lot of Goliaths with this army as well, so if he focuses down the Nexus, he could get over and... oh my god, he can actually unpower all of the Stargates. The command center is still burning. The carrier's in here. Oh my god, he kills a carrier. Great target firing by Pinkbrush. That's exactly what he needed to do. Keeping the carrier count low here is going to be so important. He needs to focus down this Nexus. The command center, though, still burning. There's absolutely no repair going down on it. And this Nexus survives, so Noob is still in a wonderful position. But this command center, he needs to repair this. He's not going to click. He just clicked on it. He clicked on it. Oh my goodness. He clicked on it to build an SCV, or at least he used his hotkey, and he didn't see it was going down. This is going to burn down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kaboom! Command center down. Big mistake there by Pinkbrush. Could have actually lost him the game as the carrier count continues to increase here. Going in to this third base, although the Goliath did go down with that drop. And there's another drop going in, but he's not noticed his command center isn't there anymore. He's not even building another one. And there's a lot of tanks at this base, but the tanks aren't going to do anything. He needs to get them away from this location. Noob is mining once again off of 4 bases. And Pinkbrush is down to essentially a 1-base economy while he's long distance mining over here. Now, I think Pinkbrush is kind of betting everything on killing this bottom left base, but Noob has still got a ton of money back at home. And Pinkbrush's upgrades, they're just not in a good way. He's got double armory, but still no science facility anywhere. This is such a massive mistake. He's building double command centers over here, but still no science facility. Here comes the drop in the bottom left. I mean, the carriers aren't going to be able to get back to defend this, but does it matter? If Pinkbrush loses this base, he is going to be in a terrible, terrible spot. Whereas Noob still has 3 bases mining. Okay, let's see what the Goliath count is like. We don't have a massive Goliath count. There's not a big Wraith count or anything either. I don't believe there's Cloak. And if there was, there's already an Observer here. I think Pinkbrush may be breathing his last breaths here. There's absolutely nothing he can do. Shuttle's dropping the units in as well. Great play by Noob. Completely annihilating his opponent's army there with that drop. And these carriers are on top of the production. And when that happens, you know, there's absolutely nothing you can do as Terran. Now, maybe if there was some miracle and he had an SCV over here to build a command center, we'd have a different situation. But unfortunately, this is going to be game. It's been a pretty good game so far, regardless. But Pinkbrush just making a few fatal mistakes, losing him this game. And you can see the probes are actually going to take down this and just expand here as well. Because look how OP probes are, guys. I mean, we're going to have the Terran player try and go for a base race, but unfortunately, he doesn't have anything to contest the carriers. There's nothing that can block Noob's mining. Sieging the tanks up, maybe a little bit unnecessary. Realistically, there is no units over here. There is a few carriers now, but they can be dealt with. So maybe in some miracle, he kills everything, but he's got no mining, so what can he do with no mining and no production? You can't build anything. Down to 5 SCVs as well. And they're all in the firing line. He doesn't have them over on the left-hand side or anything. Now, the Goliaths are going to push forward, see if they can get one of these carriers, but oh wow, Noob thought the carrier was going to die, so he cancelled the Interceptor building. That's how good Noob is, guys. And this is why he's STPL rank #1. GG, Pinkbrush taps out. There's nothing he can do. And Noob takes game number 3. Okay, I mean, that was a cool game regardless. Pinkbrush obviously letting his command center burn down was a massive, massive mistake, as well as not having his upgrades going. If it had kept both of those things, or if he'd done both of those things, maybe that would have gone a little bit differently. But that's going to take us into game number 4 when we get back after this break. Obviously, SouL has taken the victory in the series, but they have not won the final game just yet, and every single game counts in the STPL. So let's head in to game number 4 when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, I was playing an EGM fight night, and it just so happens in round 1 I played up against Terra. I've always said that I have bad micro, but this was on another level. StarCraft released 20 years. Ah! welcome to the second. Okay, all, we are back. It's time for game number 4. It's going to be Scan versus Chaylin, and it's going to be on Carthage 3. Let's actually have a look at Scan stats. Obviously, Scan going to be playing for SouL here, as he has done since Season 1. Scan rank 2 in the STPL. He has won 8 of his 10 last games. Okay, I'm just going to say now, the loss he had against Anne on Neo Chain Reaction is one of the best games from Season 1. So if you haven't seen that game, it's going to be on the STPL TV YouTube. So youtube.com/STPL TV. Go and check that game out after the cast, because genuinely, that was one of the best games we had in Season 1 Round 4. It was so good. So back and forth, an absolutely amazing game, and his TVT against Cherry was amazing as well on Either Storm. But having a look at his opponent, it's going to be one of the top female streamers in Korea. It's going to be Chaylin. Now Chaylin is quite popular on Twitch as well as Afrika TV. She's got a really long bio, but regardless, really fun to see her play all the time. She's got a really interesting style in CBT. We've only seen it against Hate Snow, and I think that was a relatively quick game, so we'll have to see how she does up against someone as good as Scan. As Scan is obviously one of the best players in the SCPL ranking-wise, as well as just knowledge-wise as well. So let's have a look at our third map here. It's going to be, or fourth map even, it's going to be Carthage 3. Now Carthage 3 is a very cool 2-player map. We've had a lot of really fun games on this. One of the most amazing things to me about STPL Round 4, STPL Season 2, is the map all the maps have had relatively balanced games stats wise. So we've not got we've not had like a serious amount of series or anything. So obviously, there's still a lot of time to go through in STPL Season 2. And let's get into game number 4, the final game of today. Hopefully, it's going to be a long one, so I can host Zero afterwards. But if not, the BSL's coming up after this regardless. So let's have a look. It's game number 4. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Peach Terran fighting for SouL. It's Scan. And spawning down here in the bottom right-hand position, we do have the, I think this is the Malachite Zerg fighting for Eternal Friends. It's Chaylin. Now, of course, these both are Korean players. Scan has been around for ages. He lived in America for a while, so he was also known pretty well in the foreign scene. And he knows a lot about the foreign scene as well. He knows all the players. I know he talks to a lot of them as well. He's a really friendly guy, from what I understand. He's always been quite helpful. And overall, he's a great guy. And Chaylin, I know from her streaming. I've not actually seen much of her stream, but I know she is quite popular, so it's always cool to see someone like Chaylin getting to show off her skills. We've actually got another one of the female Koreans joining the roster soon. We actually had Best's girlfriend, EQ, join White Clan, so it'll be cool to see her games as well. But thinking about the female streamers in Korea as well, if you think 10 years ago the only major female player there was Tosgirl, and Tosgirl was really good, but Tosgirl unfortunately never had the kind of successes that a lot of the male streamers did, or the male players, sorry. But she was still better than a lot of people. Like, Tosgirl came out in Pro League quite a lot, she got a lot of airtime. But now, since like the post-Casper era, the female streamer scene has actually taken off in its own way as well. Now, Chaylin gonna hide her third hatchery here. Scan is actually opting not to scout super early, so Scan delaying his scout here is kind of strange. Like, usually as Terran, you'd want to know exactly what's going on. But Scan going for the refinery, going to be going into a tech build here. 1-1-1 possible. Also, 2-port Wraith is something that Scan likes to do. Especially against someone that Scan maybe thinks isn't as good as he is. Scan will always go for like 2-port Wraith and stuff like that. Now, one thing to note about the STPL, if you've not seen it before, but I'm sure everyone here has, it is a best of 5, and they are played out in best of 1s. So if the score was 2-2, we could have seen an ace match and seen a game 5, but unfortunately that's not going to happen for now. So this is going to be the final game of today. Usually the SCPL wouldn't be on a Sunday. The reason it was because essentially we have 14 teams in this season, so it means Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is the normal casting days, we would have 2 games or 2 series each, and usually that's fine. And then on Friday, on week 1, I casted all 3 on Friday, which was fine. But then this Friday, the first 2 series on Friday took forever. There were some really, really long games. There was a 45-minute ace match, and I was exhausted, so that's why we took a break on Friday, came back Sunday. We actually just had the first 3 series for week 3 played as well, so technically, if I wanted to, I could then cast another series after this, but I'm not going to do that just because the BSL does start up shortly after this cast will end, and obviously there's no point fighting with viewers because that's not good for me, and it's not good for Zero either. And at the end of the day, as the foreign scene, we should all work together the best we can to get more viewers for everybody. So should be a fun group in BSL today too. It's going to be True Touch's group. Now, LA LAN has also been on, obviously going back into this game a little bit. We've got a Hydra Den coming up with a lair, so it's going to be a lurker opening possibly for Chaylin. Well, the lair has just popped, so Spire could still be a thing. Obviously, lurker openings are good. Well, lurker openings are a little bit of a risk. There is a second extractor coming in, so I think it will be a Spire coming up soon. But I'm not sure where she's going to hide it. Although there is going to be Hydra Range. Or, yeah, this is Hydra Range, isn't it? It's not speed. So Hydra openings against mech are good, just because mech openings struggle, especially 1-1-1. One of the main problems with going 1-1-1 is you don't have that many units, but we can already see the Spire's coming up for Chaylin now, and she is going to play relatively standard. Now, the Hydralists here are actually not too bad of a decision. If you think your opponent is going to be going for some kind of Wraith style, then that can be useful. You can see that Chaylin sees the command center is up, so knows it's not 2-port Wraith. Science Facility already on the way for Scan, and it's going to be triple Wraith. Wait, is this triple or is this 2 Wraith? No, I think it's just going to be 2 Wraith before Control Tower. The first Hydralisk has been spotted, so that'll help Scan a little bit. Knows that he needs to be careful. But with range finishing up, the Wraith shouldn't really do too much, and with the Muteless going to be on the way soon after, this is a relatively good position for Chaylin to be in. Now, we should see... Oh, it's going to be an Engineering Bay actually for Scan, so Scan is not going to commit to mech. This is likely going to be a bio opening off the back of this. We should see Radiant coming in soon. Vessels in the way as well. And obviously you do need that Engineering Bay just because you do need to deal with the Mutalisks and there's no cloak. But 2 Overlords going down, microing Wraiths on both fronts. Scan doing a very, very good job. It's not going to supply block Chaylin, which is a blessing in disguise, because that means she's going to be able to get a Muteless out on time. Going for mass Hydra here as well wouldn't necessarily be that bad either, because look, I mentioned before, 1-1-1, you don't actually have that many units. You've got 4 SCVs in a bunker and 1 tank. That's the only units that he has that could possibly deal with some kind of Hydra all-in, but let's see what Scan's plan is. So there's going to be another 2 missile turrets coming up. This is another problem with going for that 1-1-1 style. You need to essentially overbuild turrets as you just don't have any Marines. And your Wraiths, when you don't go for Cloak, they're not going to do anything. So, oh! Okay, Scan does pick off one of those Scourge with his Wraith there. Chaylin needs to be very careful because obviously Chaylin has gone for air but also gone for a lot of Hydralisk as well. So this isn't the normal 9 muta timing you would see. This is actually a lot later. Usually you'd see like the 9 muta timing off of 3 hatcheries around 6 minutes 30. Because she has added so many Hydralisks, it makes it a little bit more difficult to reach that timing. Now, Chaylin has the opportunity to go for a bust here. I'm not sure if she will, but it is a possibility. And a Hydra bust against this style is incredibly powerful, but siege tanks obviously going to be powerful as well. And one thing you can never count out is repair on the bunker. Now the academy is coming in. There's still no armory, so I think it is going to be bio, yeah. So we've got an additional 3 barracks coming in now. Oh my god, gets the first vessel with the Scourge. Great timing there by Chaylin. That delays things a lot for our Terran player. This Muta is going to go down, but the Muta and the Scourge did their job 100%. Scan has spent a lot of his money getting those vessels up, and that vessel had energy, and the second vessel does not, so that's very, very unfortunate. Now, not getting vessel energy here, just going for a radiate. So it's not great for Scan, but without those vessels, it becomes really difficult. Now, just a shout out as well to our 2 sponsors. We have Liquipedia sponsoring us for $500. Massive shout outs to them. If you do want to help out, anyone has the ability to edit on Liquipedia. So if you want to help with the STPL Liquipedia especially, if you join the STPL Discord, I can get you added to the channel, but there's also other events that need people to help with Liquipedia, so do that. And also Matcherino have sponsored us with $200 worth of 50-cent codes, so that's 200 codes overall. So if you want to add 50 cents to the prize pool, slam that Matcherino link down and put in the code in the chat, LSTPL, and you can add some money to the prize pool completely free, which will of course benefit the players. Okay, now Scan is microing maybe a little bit too hard here. Like that was kind of unnecessary, but I guess it's a good way to keep yourself fresh as well. And you're never too sure when stuff's going to come in, but losing 2 overlords is a little bit of a problem for Chaylin. But the Scourge, oh, good jukes by Scan, getting away from the Scourge there. Very difficult to actually deal with Scourge like this, but wait, how did that happen? I didn't think that was possible. He didn't change direction, so how did it catch up? They're slower. Oh well. Oh my god, gets it. Nice moves by Chaylin. Does get one of those. Now, it is going to be bio, and Chaylin knows about this, so these lurkers are going to be super important. 3rd base is up here for Chaylin already. Queen's Nest coming in, so Hive will follow soon after. And when we start to see Defilers, this is when things get a little bit hairy for our Terran player, who is going bio, but Scan especially is the absolute god king of just multitask. Like, he will have drops going everywhere. Still going for vessels. Losing that initial vessel means his vessel count is a lot lower. Now, there is going to be a lot of bio coming up here into these lurkers, but the tanks are going to be able to siege up. There is a radiate going down as well. And this is a problem, because this is all of Chaylin's lurkers, and if she doesn't have these lurkers, how is she going to deal with this big army? But luckily enough, she got a good amount of spines down on those units, but Irradiate showing its power. A single lurker left here. Not many Mutalisks, but gonna try and come in here and get some of these vessels with the Scourge. We can already see Scan pulling back immediately. All the Scourge go down, the Mutas go down as well. And Scan's push continues through the middle of the map. It's gonna be 6 tanks, 2 groups of Marines, and 6 medics, I believe that is. And that's without the reinforcements as well. This is 6 racks, medic Marine, with tanks consistently being produced, and a starport. Two upgrades are on the way. No, it's going to be 2-1, sorry. And going to go through the middle of the map. There is still a lot of lurkers back here for Chaylin, but lurkers alone are not enough to deal with 6 siege tanks. So 6 siege tanks and vessels going to be very, very strong. Hive is not yet finished, so Defilers are not on the way just yet. They're going to be a long way away. And Chaylin is going to struggle a little bit here, I think, against Scan's push. This is so unbelievably important that Chaylin holds this push, otherwise she loses. and loses this game. Losing this game obviously isn't the biggest deal, but every single game can matter. Going back to STPL Season 1, Round 3, the final series, or the final set of playoffs, was decided by one game win. So every little helps, as the Asda advert says. Now we are going to have... Oh my god. Scan coming in from multiple angles. Good moves by Scan, clearing up these lurkers, but still taking a decent amount of damage. And Chaylin going to go forward. Nice D-Matrix on that front tank. All of the lurkers going down. And Chaylin is in so much trouble now because Scan, his army, is not going to fall here. Third base coming up for Scan, so maybe he doesn't want to push, but he knows after killing so many units, it's not worth sitting back. Irradiate coming down on these lurkers at the front. Siege tanks sieging up as normal. And the Medic Marine continues to push forward. The Irradiates constantly dotting off these lurkers. And Chaylin is on so few units now. This is the final stand of Chaylin in this game, I believe. She's done a relatively good job, but Scan, his army control is ridiculous. And the tanks are going to take position on the high ground. They're going to have a relatively quick path down into this natural. The Lings, the Lurkers, going to push forward, but they're pushing up onto high ground. And all of the Lurkers going down. Once again, the Lings going down. No, well, +2... is this going to be... No, it's just +2 carapace. So, I mean, Lurkers... Oh, sorry, Ultras could have been a good choice after this, but... Defilers are needed. Like, if Defilers were out here now with Consume, maybe Chaylin could hold on, but double Irradiate going down. Scan's use of Vessel Energy is second to none, and this shows why he is ranked 2 in STPL. He's doing an incredible job. Oh yeah, every little helps is Tesco, sorry. But yeah, look at this. We've got Lings running in without Dark Swarm support, trying to clear off some of these tanks. There's only 4 tanks remaining, but there's still no Defilers. GG! Chaylin taps out and Scan takes game number 4. Okay, so obviously that series, we had some really fun games in there. It was relatively quick, so I wonder if I could have actually casted this on Friday, but we didn't. We still got up to 87 viewers, guys, so thank you so much for tuning in on your weekend. It means so much to know that people actually want to like watch the STPL even on their weekend off and stuff like that. So it's always awesome to see you guys here. We're going to bring up the results in just a second. I just need to actually re-add the win. Why isn't this working? I think it's broke, but we can at least see the results on the screen, and then I'll fix the database afterwards. But a really, really well played series by SouL. Everyone on SouL did a really, really good job there. Scan, of course, with a perfect push at the end to round out the series, but just trying to, like, doing everything without Rapid here is kind of difficult. So here we go. We've got the results up here now. SouL Gaming obviously taking the 4-0 victory over Eternal Friends, whose logo is not loaded again for some reason. It was working before, so... Oh, Captain Orca. I mean, I agree with that, but Lucky Noob, you're gonna set him up. So, or you're gonna set him off even. You don't want to insult Zerg while Lucky Noob's around, because he will completely destroy you. Now, obviously, 4-0 victory for SouL. That's going to be relatively good for them. Now, I am going to keep you on the line quickly while I jump out and sort the results, because I want to show off the week 2 results now they're finally done. But obviously, I need to quickly figure this out, because every once in a while something will happen with the database and it'll look really weird, and I'll get like an error appearing, and it's just like, oh, well, that's kind of funny. But Eternal Friends question mark. Did it say? Oh, yeah, it's because their thing didn't work. Sorry. So let's just re-add this. I mean, obviously BSL is coming up in 25 minutes. Unfortunately, yeah, I was hoping I could stall for 20 minutes. I was hoping like the series would end, or I was hoping the series would be a little bit longer. Maybe I should have started a little bit later, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So it happens, guys. There's not really much I can do about that, so I would suggest you hang around at least for a few minutes just so I can bring up the full results, because you guys want to follow, or if you guys want to follow the STPL, the easiest way to do it is by watching every week, because obviously we're going to have 14 weeks worth of games, and then from there we'll go from there obviously everything will work out, but essentially the way the format's slightly different this time. So the way the format works in Season 2 is in Season 1 we had 2 groups, and then the top 2 teams from each group advanced. But this time we've got one massive group, which means everybody will play everybody. That's going to be at least 14 weeks of games. Obviously if there's tiebreakers that could go on a little bit longer, but it essentially means that every single game counts, and keeping on top of the scores is going to be very, very important to know exactly what's going on. Now, if we do this, what I should be able to do now is quickly add these in. And then I'm hoping that now works. Yeah, so I think that just updated. I just need to reload my overlay again. If anyone's a Java whiz, by the way, I need a little bit of help with something because I can't get one of my screens to update when I do something. So if you guys know how to make it work, I would be much appreciated. But here we go. Let's have a look at the team rankings at the end of week 2. We finally have everything here. So we're going to have SouL at the top of the table again. They did win Season 1, so at the end of the day, that's not necessarily that surprising. White Clan close behind them. They were second. Interestingly, we've got Clan Revolution in third. They were one of the lower teams in Season 1, but they are doing an incredible job so far, winning both of their series. We're going to have IRK in fourth, tied with Valhalla team. Then we're going to have Nice in 5th, 1-1. They've actually played 2 ace matches, so they are slightly above Red and Naz, who are tied in 6th. Net Wars are in 7th. Psystorm and Bull tied in 8th. Ash in 9th. DM in 10th. And Eternal Friends, unfortunately, losing all 8 of their games so far in 11th. But at the moment, the way the table stands, SouL Gaming to Psystorm will be advancing into the playoffs, but that is a long way away. We have 12 weeks left of games. Week 3 is going to be coming up over the next few days, and we are going to, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, 2100 CEST. Java with, oh my god. Damn it, Cadency, why did you point that out? I'm going to bring up a new screen that I've just developed as well, just to show off the wonderful patrons that have been taking care of me with the STPL as well. Obviously, if you do want to support the STPL, there are multiple ways. You can donate to the prize pool on Matrino. Use that code, of course. Let's just put in that button. If you slam down that Matrino link and put the code in that's in chat, you can add 50 cents to the prize pool completely free. There is no cost to that whatsoever, so it's definitely worth doing. And you can also support on Patreon, which is the best way to support the STPL, I would say, if you can donate monetarily. But huge thank you to our patrons so far. Jack Wegrick at $50, $25 from William Ebird, $10 from Simon Alfredson, and $8 from Camchak. Means a lot. So thank you so much for your support. And we will see you guys I'll see you guys tomorrow, 2100 CEST. I nearly said same time, but it's not going to be the same time. It's going to be in the evening, same place, for some more STPL action. I'll see you guys very soon.